back. Today we're diving into something that I know a lot of you are curious about, acupuncture for anxiety relief. And I get it, needles might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you're feeling stressed. But what if I told you there's a way to actually use those tiny needles to rewire your body's stress response? That's what we're exploring today. We've got some fascinating research on how acupuncture can work its magic on anxiety. Plus, we'll hear from real patients about their experience at the KimAcu Clinic. And of course, we'll tackle how to find an acupuncturist who's the right fit for you.
I love that. You're right, it can seem counterintuitive to use needles to alleviate anxiety. But think of it this way. When you're stressed, your nervous system is like a car stuck in overdrive, constantly revving its engine. Acupuncture acts like a gentle brake, helping to calm that overactivity and bring your body back into a state of balance.
Okay, I can see how that metaphor works. But how does sticking needles in specific spots actually achieve that? Is it all about energy flow and Kai, like I've heard? To be honest, that part always seems a little mystical to me.
Well, traditional Chinese medicine does emphasize the flow of qi, or vital energy, through pathways in the body. But from a Western perspective, we can also understand acupuncture's effects in terms of its impact on the nervous system. You've got two branches of your nervous system, the sympathetic, which is your fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest mode. When anxiety kicks in, your sympathetic system goes into overdrive. Acupuncture helps to shift the balance back towards the parasympathetic system, promoting relaxation and reducing those feelings of stress.
So it's like acupuncture helps your body switch gears from panic mode to chill mode.
Exactly. And there's actually a growing body of research that backs this up. For example, a 2021 review of studies found that acupuncture significantly reduced anxiety before surgery, which is a pretty high-stress situation. Another review in 2022 supported its use for generalized anxiety disorder. Now, of course, more research is always welcome, but the existing evidence is definitely encouraging.
That's reassuring to hear. So it's not just some ancient folklore, there's actual science behind it. But let's get down to brass tacks. What can someone actually expect if they go to an acupuncturist for anxiety? I know you've been diving deep into patient experiences at the KimAcu Clinic. What are people saying about their treatments there?
One of the great things about the KimAcu Clinic is they have a YouTube video called Overcome Anxiety Naturally, where actual patients share their experiences. And what's fascinating is how different people respond to treatment. Some patients report feeling a sense of calm and relaxation almost immediately during or after their first session. Others find that the benefits gradually unfold over several sessions. It's like each treatment builds upon the previous one, slowly rewiring their stress response.
So it's not necessarily a quick fix, but more like a gradual recalibration of your system.
Precisely. And I think that's an important takeaway. Acupuncture isn't a magic bullet. It's a process that unfolds over time. But the key is consistency. Just like you wouldn't expect to see results from going to the gym once, you need to commit to regular acupuncture treatments to really reap the benefits.
Speaking of consistency, the KimAcu Clinic video mentioned something about the recommended treatment schedule. What do they say?
They recommend starting with 1 or 2 sessions per week, tailored to your individual needs. Now, this might sound like a lot, but think about it like this. If you have a garden that's overgrown with weeds, you can't just pull them out once and expect the problem to be solved, right? You need to consistently tend to the garden, weeding regularly to prevent those pesky weeds from taking over again.
So regular acupuncture treatments are like weeding your nervous system, keeping those anxiety triggers from taking root again.
That's a great way to put it. And just like weeding becomes easier with practice, your body becomes more adept at regulating its stress response with consistent acupuncture treatments.
That makes a lot of sense. But I imagine everyone's anxiety is different. Does the KimAcu Clinic tailor their treatment plans to each individual patient?
Absolutely. They emphasize the importance of personalized care. In the video, they mention how they create a customized treatment plan for each patient based on their specific symptoms and needs. They also highlight that they use incredibly thin needles and gentle techniques, so most people don't even feel the needles being inserted.
That's reassuring. I think the fear of needles is a big hurdle for some people.
I understand. But what's really striking about this clinic is how they focus on creating a comfortable and supportive environment. It's clear they prioritize patient comfort and well-being.
Well, that's great to hear. It sounds like they're really trying to make acupuncture accessible and approachable for everyone. But let's be real, not everyone can just pop into the KimAcu Clinic. For those of us who aren't in their area, How do we even begin to find a qualified acupuncturist? It's not like you can just pick someone randomly out of the phone book, right?
You're absolutely right. Finding a qualified and experienced acupuncturist is essential. You want someone who truly understands your needs and can create a personalized treatment plan that addresses the root causes of your anxiety.
So how do we go about finding that needle in the haystack? I mean, what should people be looking for?
Well, one great resource is Ashley Donato's blog post on Lee Health. She's a certified diplomate of Oriental medicine and has some fantastic insights on choosing the right acupuncturist.
Okay, so we've got a trusted expert to guide us. What does Ashley recommend?
She emphasizes the importance of doing your research and finding an acupuncturist who has experience treating anxiety. Reading online reviews and testimonials can be helpful to get a sense of other patients' experiences. She also talks about the importance of a thorough assessment, which can involve not just discussing your symptoms, but also using ancient techniques like tongue and pulse diagnosis.
Tongue diagnosis? That sounds a little out there, but okay, I'm open to learning more. How does that even work? And how does it relate to anxiety?
It might sound unusual, but tongue diagnosis is actually a very insightful tool in traditional Chinese medicine. It's based on the idea that the tongue reflects the overall health and balance of your internal organs. Different areas of the tongue correspond to different organ systems, and the color, shape, texture, and coating of your tongue can provide clues about any imbalances that might be contributing to your anxiety.
So it's like a map of your inner landscape. And the acupuncturist is using that map to navigate towards a solution for your anxiety.
That's a great analogy. For example, a pale tongue might indicate a deficiency in qi, or blood, which could manifest as fatigue, low mood, and anxiety. A red tip of the tongue might suggest excess heat in the heart, which can lead to restlessness, insomnia, and palpitations.
Wow, that's fascinating. I never would have guessed that your tongue could reveal so much about your health. What about pulse diagnosis? How does that work, and what insights can it provide?
Pulse diagnosis is another key diagnostic tool in traditional Chinese medicine. The acupuncturist will feel your pulse at different points on your wrist, assessing the quality, rhythm, and strength of the pulse. Each position corresponds to a different organ system, and the qualities of the pulse can provide insights into the state of those organs. For example, a rapid, thin pulse might indicate anxiety or stress, while a slow, weak pulse could suggest fatigue or depletion.
So it's not just about checking your heart rate like a doctor would. There's a whole other level of detail and nuance involved.
Exactly. By combining tongue and pulse diagnosis with a thorough discussion of your symptoms, medical history, and lifestyle, the acupuncturist can create a personalized treatment plan that addresses the root causes of your anxiety, not just the surface symptoms.
That's really impressive. It sounds like they're taking a very holistic approach, considering all aspects of your well-being. But let's shift gears for a moment and dive back into the Kim Acupuncture Clinic's video. You mentioned that some patients experience immediate relief from their anxiety. Can you give us a specific example of what one of those patients shared?
Absolutely. One patient talked about how they used to feel constantly on edge, like their mind was racing a mile a minute. They said that even simple things like going to the grocery store felt overwhelming. But after their first acupuncture session, they noticed a significant shift. They described feeling a wave of calm wash over them as the needles were placed. And for the first time in a long time, they felt their mind quiet down and their body relax.
Wow, that's powerful. It sounds like acupuncture gave them a much-needed break from that constant state of anxiety. Did they mention how long that feeling lasted?
They said the sense of calm lingered for several days after the treatment. And with each subsequent session, they noticed the anxiety lessening and the periods of calm extending. It was like acupuncture was teaching their nervous system to find a new equilibrium, a calmer baseline.
That's so encouraging. It gives me hope that even deeply ingrained anxiety patterns can be shifted with consistent acupuncture treatments. Did any other patient stories stand out to you?
Yes. Another patient shared how they struggled with insomnia, often lying awake for hours at night, their mind replaying worries and to-do lists. They had tried various sleep aids and relaxation techniques, but nothing seemed to work. But after starting acupuncture, they noticed a dramatic improvement in their sleep quality. They were able to fall asleep more easily and stay asleep throughout the night. They even started waking up feeling refreshed and energized, something they hadn't experienced in years.
That's incredible. It's amazing how acupuncture can have such a ripple effect, not just calming the mind, but also improving sleep and boosting energy levels. It really highlights the interconnectedness of our physical,
mental,
and emotional well-being.
Exactly. And this patient's experience also underscores the importance of finding the right acupuncturist who can address the underlying imbalances contributing to insomnia, rather than just masking the symptoms.
Right. because insomnia can stem from so many different factors, from stress and anxiety to hormonal imbalances and digestive issues. It sounds like a skilled acupuncturist can act as a detective, piecing together the clues to uncover the root cause of the problem.
Precisely. And they can then use a combination of acupuncture points, lifestyle recommendations, and potentially even herbal remedies to restore balance and promote restful sleep.
This has been incredibly enlightening. We've covered so much ground, from the science behind acupuncture to the personalized approach of the KimAcupuncture Clinic. But before we wrap up, I'd love to circle back to the importance of consistent treatment. We touched on this earlier, but can you elaborate on why consistency is so crucial for getting the best results from acupuncture?
Absolutely. Think of it this way. When you learn a new skill, whether it's playing the piano or speaking a new language, you don't become proficient overnight. It takes consistent practice and repetition to build those neural pathways and create lasting change. The same principle applies to acupuncture. Each treatment builds upon the previous one, gradually retraining your nervous system to respond differently to stress and anxiety.
So it's like acupuncture is giving your nervous system a workout, helping it build strength and resilience over time.
That's a great analogy. And just like you wouldn't expect to see results from skipping your workouts, inconsistent acupuncture treatments can hinder progress. Think about those patients at the KimAcupuncture Clinic who experienced gradual improvement over several sessions. That consistent effort is what allowed their bodies to truly integrate the benefits of acupuncture and create lasting change.
So it's about committing to the process and trusting that those small, incremental changes will eventually lead to significant improvement.
Exactly, and remember, everyone's journey is different. Some people might experience rapid relief, while others might see more gradual progress. The key is to be patient with yourself, be consistent with your treatments, and trust that your body is innately capable of healing.
That's a beautiful message. And it reminds us that healing is not just about fixing what's broken. It's about cultivating a deeper connection with ourselves and nurturing our overall well-being.
It really is. And I think acupuncture offers a unique pathway to that deeper connection. It's not just about treating symptoms, it's about restoring harmony and balance within the entire system.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the benefits in the process, but I'm still curious about the actual needles themselves. What are they like, and does getting poked with them hurt?
I know the needles can seem intimidating, but they're actually incredibly thin, much finer than the needles used for injections or blood draws. You might feel a slight prick or a tingling sensation, but most people find it to be very minimal and fleeting.
Okay, that's good to know. It doesn't sound as scary as I imagined.
Yeah.
So once the needles are in, what happens next? You just lie there for a while?
Exactly. The acupuncturist will usually leave the needles in for about 20 to 30 minutes. And during that time, they might use additional techniques like moxibustion or cupping to enhance the treatment.
Wait, moxibustion, what's that?
Moxibustion involves burning a dried herb called mugwort near the acupuncture points. It sounds intense, but it's actually very relaxing. The heat from the mugwort helps to warm and invigorate the flow of energy in the body.
Interesting. So it's like adding a little extra warmth and energy to the treatment. What about cupping? I've seen pictures of those round marks it leaves on people's skin.
Yes, cupping involves placing heated glass cups on the skin to create suction. It can help to release muscle tension, improve circulation, and draw out toxins. And you're right, it often leaves those circular marks, which are basically just harmless bruises that typically fade within a few days.
Okay, so it's not as intense as it looks. It sounds like there's a whole toolkit of techniques that acupuncturists can use to personalize the treatment.
Absolutely. And the beauty of acupuncture is that it can be tailored to each individual's unique needs and constitution.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of acupuncture for anxiety relief. We've learned so much about how it works, what to expect during a treatment, and how to find a qualified acupuncturist. But before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. If you're struggling with anxiety and feeling like you've tried everything, don't give up hope. Acupuncture might just be the missing piece of the puzzle.
I couldn't agree more. It's a powerful and effective approach that can help you reclaim your inner peace and live a calmer, more balanced life.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of acupuncture. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and feel empowered to explore this ancient healing art for yourself.
And remember, the journey to well-being is an ongoing process. Be patient with yourself, be consistent with your self-care practices, and trust that your body has an incredible capacity to heal.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay well.